Hey, what it do, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q. And welcome back to YouTube, Fog Dwellers. Look, I'm excited. I know we're back a little bit quicker than normal. We normally don't upload this close to one another, but we got an exciting, it's our first of two patches that we're going to be getting as far as like a mid-chapter update, some developer update, basically. One of two of them we're going to be getting before our mid-chapter comes. We've got a Trapper buff. We've got another Spirit nerf. We've got some add-on changes, some perk changes, and then we even get to find out about this new thing that Dead by Daylight is calling the item and character kill switch. Hang tight with me. Let's get right down into the nitty-gritty. I know y'all are super excited for this one, especially with some of the changes we've got coming down the pipeline. Again, this is the developer update. Keep in mind, this is going to be coming in as far as with the mid-chapter update, so this is just some news. This isn't going to be in the game yet as far as when we first released this video, but this is going to be some stuff that's going to be coming down the line. Super exciting, especially because like we talked about, we're going to be talking about the Trapper here at first. We're going to be getting some buffs here, okay? So one thing, especially as far as for the Trapper, especially if you've played the Trapper a lot, you probably know, you got a lot of RNG with the Trapper before. Anytime during a trial, you could spawn into a trial and have anywhere between 4 to 6 traps on a map at a time. So now what they're doing is they're taking out the RNG. You're going to get 6 traps at any time when you spawn into a trial. There are going to be 6 traps laying around on the map. Also, they're going to be changing his base kit a little bit. You're going to start with 2, and you're going to be able to carry 2 just off of his base kit. Kind of changing some things up there. I think it's a necessary buff. Definitely still going to be a killer that you have to take time in the early part of the trial to do some setup and everything like that. But some of these changes as far as allowing him to make sure he's got his maximum amount of traps, as well as at least being able to carry 2 before any add-ons or anything, I think it's going to be a really good buff. Unfortunately, it's going to be a RIP for my ankles because it does seem like every time I run against the Trapper, I do definitely seem to run into every single one of his traps. So the fact that he's going to have more right off the rip is just going to be a big feels bad for me. But we've also got some add-ons here that I want to talk about. Now, a couple of add-ons that I think can actually kind of change the game around. The first one's going to be the Tension Spring. It's going to be a purple add-on for the Trapper. Now, what that's going to do is it's going to be a high-action spring that snaps back into place after being stretched. So basically, after bear trap is disarmed, after like a survivor escapes from it anyways, like after they've been caught into it, it's going to reset itself. Now, I'd be interested to see if this will also affect bear traps that are triggered from closing like by someone like disarming the trap itself, because you would imagine the like process is the same, but I feel like that would kind of make it a little too strong. So we'll have to check that out. Maybe we'll be able to check that out in PTB before I go on vacation, depending on when that PTB drops itself. And then we've also got the Trapper sack itself, since obviously, the base kit changes. So they had to adjust some of the add-ons to go with it. So this is going to adjust it as far as the purple add-on. Here, this is going to be interesting though. So all bear traps are carried at the beginning of the trial instead of spawning on the map. So you spawn with all of, I guess, what would that be? 8 traps, right? Because normally you have 2 in hand and then you have 6 on the map. So that would be what? Now you're gonna be spawning and carrying all 8. It does say though that bear traps cannot be picked up. So I don't know if that means that there's not any more additional bear traps on the map, or if that means that like once you place a trap, it's permanently there forever, and once it's disarmed, all you can do is basically rearm the trap. We'll have to kind of see how that plays out during PTB, but I think that's really interesting, especially being able to give, like, let's say a basement trapper all of their traps right at the beginning of the game. As far as the Spirit, though, let's move on to it. I know that some people think that the Spirit got what some people would consider a nerf with the changes to Strider not too long ago. But the Spirit is actually getting some changes, which is fair. And even, Dead by Daylight addresses it right here. The Spirit has been a strong killer since her release, and with that in mind, we've made some changes that aim to increase her skill ceiling, whilst also giving survivors some counterplay. So basically now what's going to happen is you don't get a indication that the Spirit is phase walking, but for the survivors that are within 24 meters of the Spirit, what will happen is you get a directional phase sound. So that way you can at least kind of hear it, where, the spirit is at during the process of her actual phase walk itself. Although you won't get a complete understanding, but this kind of takes away some of the 50-50. But also, since you've got the direction of knowing which way to look, the spirit's footsteps will now kick up dust while she's phasing. So basically, if you're able to look down at the ground, you should be able to more easily identify which direction the spirit's coming from. Again, the two things kind of make it so it's less of a 50-50 in a mind game. And if you're paying attention, it kind of raises that skill ceiling for survivors, making it so there's more counterplay for the spirit, which is huge, right? Because right now, especially before the Strider nerf as well, especially to where it, before when it negated Iron Will, it's just a matter of when, not if, you know what I mean? So it looks like now it's kind of giving some survivors some more tools during looping, which is actually really, really huge. Now we do see some more perk add-ons as far as here for the spirit. We've got a very rare haunting add-on. Now, it looks like the very rare is going to be where during the haunting itself, the spirit will have the ability to hit the ability again, and kind of like how the nurse can blink somewhere and blink right back. They're going to have the same ability to do it, but instead of where after they're done phasing, if they're mid-phase and they just want to come right back to their husk, they'll come right back there with the, is that a Wakizashi Saya? That's pretty cool. I think that'll make for some interesting mind games too. I think that's kind of nice because I'm sure Spirit players kind of felt like that Spirit was getting nerfed kind of heavy. So that's at least an add-on that can kind of counter some of the counterplay that got added to her, if that makes sense. Anyways, we've also got a rare add-on as well. This one's cool. So it says the sparklers that light up summer nights and display the beauty of ephemeral moments in life. So basically what happens is when Yakooma's haunting ends, whenever they come out of the phase walk, the spirit's husk explodes and any vault locations within 4 meters are blocked for 5 seconds. So this is going to make some interesting mind games that say like jungle gyms. I would imagine this is also going to work at pallets as well, but like shack, stuff like that. So they're making it to where, again, the spirit has more counterplay, but now some of her add-ons kind of add more to her kit in a sense. Like obviously they're add-ons, they're not like in her base kit, but it gives you more to play with as well. Now we do have an update here letting us know that they're going to be looking at killer add-ons. We're going to be looking at some things. So basically what it says here as far as the killer add-ons update. What does moderately mean? How much more is tremendously? So now basically whenever we see those, we're actually going to get an actual figure, whether it's like, it adds so many meters to a blink, or it slows down regressions by so many seconds or by so much percentage, adds a turner radius by so much. I'm sure it'll be like, for ghost phase, decreasing the stalk speed by X amount of seconds, stuff like that. Which is nice because they're looking at kind of making those figures more solid. So people, especially newer players, since there's so much to take in for newer players when they come into the game, these add-ons kind of help. One, it makes it once that information's more readily available. This stuff now makes that easily calculated for newer players when they're looking at their add-ons for a new killer that they're not used to, right? But not only that, but there are also going to be some changes that also focus on the mostly used or the unused add-ons for any of these particular killers, meaning like add-ons that are either very, very weak or super overpowered. So hopefully things that might get changed, like I think of right off the bat is when you look at the Wraith with like, say, All-Seeing, or the Silent Bell, now that his skill set has kind of changed. Do you know what I mean? Things like that. Those are going to be the things that they look at as far as these changes here. Also, as far as our perk updates, we've got some things that are going to be changing. Variety is the Spice of Light, and incidentally, Dead by Daylight matches too. So we got some things that are going to be changing here. I'm actually kind of excited for a couple of these perk changes. So hang here tight with me. We're almost out of here. We'll get you back to whatever you want to do. Probably want to get back into the fog. But as far as for Vigil, basically, your numbers are going to be going up from 10, 15, and 20% to 20, 25, and 30%. now making Vigil a lot more, the recovery rate. It makes it more viable. Also, the recovery rate helps for like broken status, exposed status, and oblivious status. All of those also get recovered for like, say, different perks or add-ons and things like that. Those get recovered at the same rate recovery from the Vigil, that bonus, that increase there. You also get them now on that. And again, you also get the extra increase. Plus, at least right now, I don't know if they fixed it, but last I saw, Vigil is also stacking. So unless they fix that, because I'm not sure if that's operating as intended or not, I would imagine if they are increasing the numbers, and that is probably not operating as intended, and that will be fixed. But if not, just something to kind of keep an eye out for. Now we do see Babysitter here, which I guess will also be called Guardian after Stranger Things is removed. Small tweak, the rescued survivor will now receive a speed boost for 4 to 6 to 8 seconds, in addition to not leaving scratch marks or pools of blood. The aura reading duration has been doubled. I think the aura duration before on Babysitter was, what was it, 4 seconds? 6 seconds? So it'll be twice that, right? So 12 seconds. So Babysitter becoming a little bit more viable, especially because you also give your people the speed boost. That'll be good. That would also be really good for countering borrowed time and stuff, to like couple with borrowed time. We're also going to see For the People getting a little bit of a change. For the People can create some amazing moments. A lot of people don't really use it because the broken status lasts so long. Right now it's 110, 100, or 90 seconds at tier 3. Now at tier 3, it's only going to be 60 seconds, so just a minute. So that will be really cool. For the People can allow some pretty clutch, like especially end game saves and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool that they're looking to try and move that into to be like a more viable perk. Again, just because it offers so many like really cool like moments. Hex Retribution here is also getting changed. So now interacting with any totem will make the team oblivious. And then also the aura duration, once a hex totem is cleansed, is now 15 seconds instead of, what is it now, 12 seconds, 10 seconds? So it's getting a little bit of a buff there. Hex Blood Favor might actually end up being used more now that there is this change here. So Hex Blood Favor, it used to be where it only kick in with the basic attack. Now it'll also work with M2 attacks. So it's going to be good for like Huntress Hatchets, ranged attacks like the Nemesis attack and things like that. Will also lock down pallets. I mean, also no longer has a cooldown, so for multiple successful attacks. So that allows for like snowballs and slugging and things. So I think that definitely buffs Hex Blood Favor in quite a bit. I don't know if that moves it up into meta to where we see it played a bunch more, but I'm sure we'll see Hex Blood Favor at least played a little bit more. Same thing applies as far as for Third Seal. So like right now for Hex Third Seal, in order for it to apply, you need to use an M1 attack. So now with Third Seal, same thing. A Huntress Hatchet would apply it. Same thing with like a chainsaw, things like that. And then for Thrill of the Hunt, it looks like they're getting ready for Boom Totems. I'm not sure Boom Totems are going to be part of the announcement on Monday. It's something that they've kind of been teasing for a while, which is going to be something for survivors, which they've talked about possibly us having some survivors come out at the Midchapter. So maybe we see that Monday or Tuesday whenever that release. We'll also do a video for that here on this channel. So if you're looking forward for that, or if you want to keep an eye out for that, do me a favor and make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. All right. So yeah, it looks like basically what's going to happen is the same kind of percentage that you get for how much longer it takes for them to cleanse a totem. You'll get a speed boost for cleansing, or for the blessing as well, for the cleansing to blessing as well. So it'll take them longer to bless the totem. So that's pretty cool. So it makes it so it's going to like affect the new perks coming in, which is nice. I'm really excited to see what the Boom Totems do. I'm not sure what it is yet. Again, we haven't really seen anything. It's all just kind of been teasers so far. It's all kind of been speculation. I really hope we see that on Monday. That'd be dope. And then the item and character kill switch down here. I'm not sure why. Oh, it's, well, let me scroll because it's the bottom of the page and I just have it zoomed in. So basically the item and character kill switch, basically it just says if there's anything where an item is having bugs, or a perk is having bugs, or a certain character is having bugs, this is now going to make it to where they can completely disable something instead of it being in the game for a prolonged period of time, causing issues. Let's say when Nemesis was causing all of the frame drop issues, now with the character kill switch, they can just disable Nemesis while they figure them out, which is kind of cool. So that's it as far as this developer note. Like I said, it says 1 of 2, so I'm expecting us to maybe get another one like Monday or Tuesday. I do get my second round of my vaccine on Monday, so depending on how I feel, I'll try and get a video out for that as soon as I get, kind of see when that update comes out. So I appreciate y'all rocking with me. If you enjoyed this kind of version of the developer update, I know we haven't really done this version for Dead by Daylight over on our channel yet, so let me know in the comments if you like this version of it. Of course, if you've made it this far and just enjoy the content, leaving a like and a comment does help us out with the YouTube algorithm and all that good stuff as well. And make sure you're subscribed. It looks like 70% of people who've been tuning into the videos the last 60 days aren't subscribed. So if you're enjoying the content, it would really mean a lot to me, especially since we're chasing down that 500 subs by the end of the year. If you could do me a favor, just make sure that subscribe button's turned on. And of course, if you hit those notifications, make sure those are turned on as well. We can make sure you come back here for the next video. We'll catch you right back here. Cool? And until that video, or until we catch you over on our stream, which, by the way, we do stream over on Twitch. Link for that's down in the description below, as always. But until we either catch you over there or the next video, for real, do me one last favor. With everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love harder. It's your boy Q, signing out.
If you ain't show something, you just don't wanna be. You wanna be me, but you will never be as fresh as see you.